Welcome to my Colombia stories. Tonight's story comes from Jake, 41, contractor from Phoenix. Before I read it, I need to tell you something. This one's going to make you uncomfortable. Not because Jake got scammed, because of what he tried to do about it. Some of you will think he's an idiot. Others will say they'd have done the same thing. Either way, you're going to have an opinion. Subscribe and hit that like button for more Colombia stories. What Jake did next will divide every single one of you. Here's his letter. My name's Jake. I run a contracting business in Phoenix. Drywall, framing, basic electrical. Been doing it 23 years. I'm not stupid. I'm not some kid who just discovered the internet. I've got employees, I've got accounts. I know how the world works. Or I thought I did. I came to Colombia in March. Needed a break. My divorce finalised in January and I was burnt out. 15-hour days, sleeping in my truck between jobs, eating gas station burritos. My buddy Rick said Medellin's cheap, the weather's perfect, and I should just go. So I did. Booked 2 months. Found an Airbnb in Laureles. Just needed a place to decompress. I met Valentina my second week there. Dating app. She worked in fashion, or so she said. Owned a small boutique in Poblado. We met for coffee near Parque Laureles. She was late, 20 minutes late. I almost left. But when she showed up, damn. Dark hair, green eyes, this smile that made you forget she just wasted half your afternoon. She apologised, said her supplier meeting ran long, ordered a Tinto, and sat down like we'd known each other for years. We talked for 2 hours. She asked about my business, seemed genuinely interested. Most women's eyes glaze over when I talk about load-bearing walls and permit delays. Not her. She asked questions. Good questions. How many guys on my crew? What's the profit margin on commercial versus residential? Whether I ever thought about expanding. I liked that. Felt like talking to an equal. We went out again 3 days later. Dinner at a place she picked in Poblado. Small, local. Not touristy. She paid her half. Didn't even hesitate when the check came. Just put down cash and smiled. That night she told me about her boutique. Said business was good but she wanted to expand. Open a second location. She had her eye on a space in Envigado. Better rent, better foot traffic. Problem was she needed $30,000 for inventory and renovations. I didn't offer anything, didn't even think about it. Just listened. Week 3 we were seeing each other 4-5 times a week. She'd come to my place. We'd cook together. Bandeja paisa, arepas, stuff I'd never tried before. She taught me how to make it. We'd drink Club Colombia and watch the sun go down from my balcony. I felt good, better than I had in years. The divorce had gutted me, not just financially, emotionally. My ex took the house, half the business, and made me feel like I was the problem the whole time. Valentina made me feel like I mattered again. One night, maybe week 4, we were sitting on that balcony, and she brought up the boutique again, said the landlord was pushing for an answer. She had most of the money saved, but was short. Needed about 15,000 more. She didn't ask me for it. Just mentioned it, then changed the subject. That's what got me. She wasn't pushing, wasn't begging, just stating a fact. I thought about it for 2 days. Finally, I said I'd help. Not the whole 15, but I could do 10. Call it an investment. She'd pay me back plus 20% once the second location was turning profit. She cried. Actually cried. Said I was saving her dream, kissed me, told me she'd never forget this. I wired the money on a Thursday. $10,000. She sent me photos of the lease signing, her in front of the new space holding keys, smiling. I felt like a damn hero. Week 5, she said the contractor needed a deposit. Renovations were starting. She was short again. Could I do another 5,000? Just temporarily. She'd pay me back from the first location's cash flow in 2 weeks. I did it. 5,000 more. Week 6, the inventory shipment got delayed at customs. Needed 3,000 to clear it. Import fees, storage costs, some kind of tax I didn't understand. She showed me the paperwork. All in Spanish. Looked official. I sent 3,000. Week 7 she needed another 5,000. Some suppliers screwed her over. Sent the wrong sizes. She had to reorder. Was I okay with that? She'd pay me back double. I promise, Jake, I promise. I hesitated. $23,000. That's not pocket change. But I'd already put in 18. What's another 5 if it gets my investment back plus profit? I sent it. Week 8 she went quiet. Took hours to respond to texts. Said she was slammed with the opening. Grand opening was next week. Could I come? Of course I'd come. I wanted to see this place I'd funded. The day before the opening, she cancelled. Said the permits weren't ready. Pushed it back 2 weeks. I said, okay, these things happen. I do construction. I know how delays work. Week 9, I didn't hear from her for 3 days. When she finally responded, she said she was dealing with family stuff. Her mum was sick. Needed to focus on that. Could we talk later? Week 10, I went to Poblado. Found the address she'd given me for the new boutique. It was a cell phone repair shop. Been there for 6 years, according to the guy working the counter. I checked the original boutique. The one she said she owned. It existed. But the woman running it had never heard of Valentina. Said she was the owner. Had been for 8 years. I tried calling Valentina. Straight to voicemail. Texted her. Nothing. Checked her Instagram. Blocked. $23,000. Gone. I sat in my apartment for 2 days. Didn't leave. Didn't eat much. Just sat there running through every conversation. Every smile. Every time she touched my hand across the table. Was any of it real? I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. What I do know is I felt like an idiot. 41 years old, and I got played like a teenager buying his first car. But more than that, I felt angry. Not sad. Angry, the kind of anger that sits in your chest and doesn't go away when you sleep. I started looking for her. Found her Instagram through a mutual friend's account. She hadn't blocked everyone. Just me. Her profile was still active. Public. She was posting. Clubs. Beaches. Restaurants. She looked happy. That made it worse. She took $23,000 from me. And she was out there living her best life while I was sitting in an Airbnb wondering how I'd cover payroll next month. I wanted her to hurt the way I was hurting. Wanted her to feel scared. Wanted something. Anything. That's when I met Carlos. I was at a bar in Laureles, drinking alone. Too much. I knew it, but I didn't care. Carlos sat down next to me. Started talking. Friendly guy. Mid-30s. Said he noticed I looked stressed. Bought me a beer. I don't know why I told him. Maybe I was drunk. Maybe I just needed someone to listen. But I told him everything. The whole story. Valentina. The boutique. The 23,000. He listened. Nodded. Didn't interrupt. When I finished, he said 4 words that changed everything. I can help you. And I believed him. Carlos ordered another round. Sat there quiet for a minute. Then he leaned in close. I know people, he said. People who handle problems like this. I didn't ask what he meant. I already knew. Or I thought I did. He said he'd worked security for years. Knew the right guys. Could find Valentina. Could make sure she paid me back. Or at least make sure she didn't do this to anyone else. I should have walked away. I know that now. But sitting there drunk and angry and humiliated, it made sense. She stole from me. Someone should do something about it. Carlos said it would cost $5,000 up front to cover his time and the guys who do the actual work. Once they found her and got my money back, I'd get everything. The $23,000 plus the $5,000 I paid him. $28,000 total. Clean slate. I went home that night and thought about it. Barely slept. Kept seeing her Instagram posts. Her smiling face. My money in her pocket. Next day I met Carlos at the same bar. Brought $5,000 in cash. He counted it. Nodded. Said give him a week. She'll pay, he said. Or she'll wish she had. That scared me a little. But mostly it felt good. Like I was doing something. Taking control. Not just sitting there like a victim. Week 1 passed. Carlos texted me updates. Said they found her apartment building. Were watching her routine. Figuring out the best approach. I asked what that meant. He said, don't worry about details, just trust the process. Week 2, he said they made contact. She panicked. Denied everything at first, but they had proof. Showed her photos of us together. Copies of the wire transfers I'd stupidly sent through an app that showed my name. He said she'd agreed to pay. Needed a few days to get the money together. Selling jewellery, borrowing from family, whatever. But she'd pay. I felt this rush. Like justice was coming. Like maybe the world made sense after all. Then Carlos said there was a problem. She'd agreed to meet. Hand over the money. But she wanted security. Wanted the meeting in a public place with people around. Smart on her part. She didn't trust Carlos's guys not to just take everything and hurt her. Anyway, Carlos said that was fine. But his guys needed security too. Couldn't walk into a public meetup without protection. What if she brought the cops? What if she brought her own guys? He needed 3,000 more for security. 2 extra guys to watch the exchange. Make sure nothing went wrong. I hesitated. That's 8,000 I'd given Carlos now. On top of the 23 I'd lost to Valentina. 31,000 total. But I was already in, already committed. What's 3 more if I get 28 back? I pulled it from my business account. Money I needed for a job starting the following week. Figured I'd have it back before the crew needed to get paid. I gave Carlos the 3,000. He said the meeting was set. Saturday afternoon. Parque Lleras. Public. Safe. She'd bring the money in a bag. His guys would verify it. Then walk away. Done. Saturday came. I stayed in my apartment. Carlos said I shouldn't be there. Too risky. If she saw me, she might bolt. Better if I stayed out of it. I waited. Checked my phone every 5 minutes. Paced my apartment. Couldn't sit still. 3 hours later, Carlos called. We got a problem. My stomach dropped. He said Valentina showed up. But she didn't have all the money. Only had 15,000. Said that's all she could get. Take it or leave it. His guys took it. Didn't have a choice. She left before they could negotiate. But here's the thing, Carlos said. 15,000 isn't enough. I'd given him 8. That left me 7,000 up. Not even a third of what she owed me. I asked where the money was. He said his guys had it. They'd hold it until we figured out next steps. Next steps? I said. Carlos said Valentina was scared now. Gone underground. Changed her number. Moved out of her apartment. His guys lost her. But they could find her again. Just needed more time. And more money for expenses. Another 2,000. Then we get the rest. I started to feel sick. Like the floor was tilting. You said she'd pay. She paid what she could, Carlos said. Now we get the rest. I told him no. Told him to just give me the 15,000. I'd cut my losses. He went quiet. Then he said that wasn't how it worked. 15,000 was being held as collateral. Once I paid the additional 2,000 and his guys finished the job, I'd get everything. But if I backed out now, the guys kept the 15 to cover their time. I said that's not what we agreed to. He said read the room, man. These aren't Boy Scouts. They did the work. They expect to get paid. I felt this cold panic spreading through my chest. This wasn't justice. This wasn't getting my money back. This was another scam. I told Carlos I wanted to meet his guys, see the money, verify this was real. He laughed, said that's not happening. Said I should be grateful they got anything at all. Valentina could have just disappeared. At least now there's a chance. I hung up, sat on my couch, stared at the wall. I'd just given $8,000 to a guy I met at a bar, a guy who promised to recover money from a scam. And now he wanted more. I called him back an hour later, asked for the 15,000. Said, forget the rest, just give me what you have. He said, okay, but there's a fee. The guys want 2,000 for their time. So I'd get 13,000. After losing 23 to Valentina and paying 8 to Carlos, I'd be down 18,000 total. I said, fine, whatever. Just give me the 13. Carlos said he'd arrange it. Meet him tomorrow. Same bar. I showed up the next day. Carlos wasn't there. I waited an hour. Texted him. No response. Called. Straight to voicemail. I went back the next day and the next. He never showed. I asked the bartender if he'd seen Carlos. The guy shrugged. Said lots of people come through. Didn't remember anyone by that name. I showed him a photo I'd taken of Carlos at the bar that first night. Just a quick shot I'd snapped when he wasn't looking, because I'm not a complete idiot. The bartender looked at it. Nodded. Said, yeah, he's seen him around. Comes in every few weeks. Always talking to tourists. Always buying drinks. That confirmed it. Carlos runs this con regularly. Finds angry marks who just got scammed. Offers revenge. Takes their money. Disappears. I thought about Valentina and Carlos working together. Maybe they don't even know each other. Maybe Colombia's just full of scammers working the same hunting grounds. She gets the romantics. He gets the angry ones. Different predators, same ecosystem. Or maybe they do know each other. Maybe Carlos works the bars looking for Valentina's victims specifically. She scams them. He watches who goes to the police, who gets angry, who starts asking around about getting even. Then he moves in. Either way, I played right into it. Twice. I sat in that bar for 2 hours, nursing a beer, doing the math in my head. 23,000 to Valentina. 8,000 to Carlos, 31,000 total. Then it hit me. The sick, obvious realization I should have had from the start. Carlos probably knew Valentina, or he was part of her crew, or they worked the same circles. They saw me as a mark, a desperate, angry mark, someone who'd already proven he'd throw money at problems without thinking. So they ran it again. Different scam, same victim, and I fell for it twice. I finished my beer, left, walked back to my apartment in the rain. When I got home, I did something I'm not proud of. I googled hire someone Colombia, get revenge Colombia, find someone Medellin. I stared at the search results for 20 minutes. Forums, sketchy websites, people offering services I didn't want to think about. Then I closed my laptop, because I realised what would happen. I'd find another Carlos, pay another 5,000, then another 3, then another 2, and I'd end up 50,000 in the hole with nothing to show for it but a police record and a one-way ticket. Back to Phoenix in handcuffs. I was done. Had to be done, because the alternative was worse than losing the money. The alternative was becoming the kind of person who actually goes through with it. I went to the police the next morning, not because I thought they'd help, because I needed to do something official, something that wasn't insane. The officer listened, took notes, asked if I had Carlos's real name. I didn't. Asked if I had proof I gave him money. I had bank withdrawals, but nothing tying them to him specifically. Cash transactions, no paper trail. He said there's nothing they could do. No name, no proof, no case. Happens all the time. Gringos get scammed, try to recover money, get scammed again. He said it almost sympathetically, like he felt bad but wasn't surprised. I asked about Valentina, gave him her Instagram, her photos, everything I had. He wrote it down, said they'd look into it. I knew they wouldn't. He knew I knew. We were just going through motions. I called my bank when I got home, explained the wire transfers to Valentina. They said once money's sent internationally through a wire, it's gone. No fraud protection. I authorised the transfers. Even if she lied about what they were for, I still sent them willingly. I asked about the 8,000 in cash withdrawals. Could they trace where I spent it? They said no. Cash is cash. Once it leaves your account, they can't track it. I hung up and sat there doing math I didn't want to do. 23,000 to Valentina, 8,000 to Carlos, 31,000 total. My business account was sitting at $4,000. I had a crew starting a job in 6 days. Materials ordered. Deposits paid. I needed 12,000 just to cover the first 2 weeks. I called my brother in Tucson. Asked for a loan. 15,000. I'd pay him back with interest. He asked what happened. I told him I had some cash flow issues. A client hadn't paid yet. He didn't believe me, but he didn't push. Said he'd wire it by end of day. The money came through. I paid my crew. Kept the job going. Told myself it was temporary. I'd rebuild. I've rebuilt before, but here's what I couldn't rebuild. The part that's worse than the money. I found Valentina's Instagram again through a fake account I made. She'd changed her username, but I found her through mutual followers. Still posting. Still smiling. New photos at nice restaurants. Beach trips. Shopping. There was one photo that killed me. Her holding shopping bags from expensive stores in Poblado. Designer stuff. The caption said, "Treating myself." Posted 4 days after I gave Carlos the last 3,000. I wanted to comment. Wanted to message her. Wanted to do something. But what's the point? She'd block me. Or worse, she'd respond. Say something that would make me even angrier. Make me do something stupid. I thought about the 15,000 Carlos claimed his guys recovered from Valentina. Did that even happen? Probably not. Probably just a story to squeeze more money out of me. Make me think we were close. Keep me invested. But what if it did happen? What if Carlos's guys really did confront her? Really did take 15,000? Then where is it? Did Carlos keep it all? Did he split it with them? Are there even any guys, or was it just Carlos the whole time? I'll never know. And that's what eats at me, not just the money, the not knowing. I've been back in Phoenix for 3 months now. Business is okay, I'm covering expenses. Paying my brother back slowly. He hasn't asked for details, I haven't offered them. My crew knows something happened. I came back different. Quieter. Don't joke around as much. They haven't asked. Guys who work construction know when to leave things alone. I still check Valentina's Instagram sometimes. I know I shouldn't. It's like picking at a scab. But I can't help it. Last week she posted about moving to Cartagena. New city, new opportunities, comments full of people saying they're happy for her. I wonder how many of them she's scammed, or how many she's planning to. I thought about warning people, commenting on her posts, sending messages to guys who comment on her photos. But what would I say? She's a scammer, trust me. They wouldn't believe me. They'd think I'm a crazy ex. And maybe I am. The thing that bothers me most isn't that I got scammed. It's that I got scammed twice. Same trip, same city. Different con, but same stupid choices. Valentina played on my loneliness. Carlos played on my anger. Both of them saw exactly what I needed and gave it to me. Until they didn't. I told myself I was too smart for this, too experienced, too careful. I'm 41 years old. I run a business. I have employees who depend on me. I should have known better. But here's the truth. Smart people get scammed. Experienced people get scammed. It's not about intelligence. It's about timing. They caught me when I was vulnerable. Divorced. Burnt out. Desperate to feel like I mattered. Valentina made me feel important. Carlos made me feel powerful. Both feelings were expensive. Sometimes I think about what I almost did. If I'd kept going, kept searching for ways to hurt Valentina. I could have ended up in a Colombian prison. Or worse. Over money I was never getting back anyway. That scares me more than losing $31,000. How close I came to crossing a line I can't uncross. I'm still angry. Not at them, at myself. For being so damn gullible. For thinking revenge was something I could buy. For believing Carlos when every red flag was there from the start. A guy at a bar offers to solve your problems for cash. Of course it's a scam. Of course it is. But I wanted to believe it so badly that I ignored what I knew was true. Now I'm here. 31,000 poorer. No justice. No closure. Just the knowledge that somewhere in Colombia, two people are laughing about the stupid gringo who paid twice. And maybe that's the real scam. Not the money. The fact that they're still winning. Still out there, and I'm still here thinking about it. I don't know if I'll ever stop checking her Instagram. Don't know if I'll ever stop wondering if Carlos is at that bar right now. What I do know is I'm never going back to Colombia. And I'm never trusting anyone who says they can fix things for cash. Some lessons cost $31,000. That's Jake's story. This is my Colombia Stories. Back soon with another one.